Listen up, cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
With Rooster and
the Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution,
morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
So sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine. Yeah, so you know he's back in the dating game. I felt bad after the last time. She sit there and she crushed him, dude. Whenever he goes, "Am I the only one you're sleeping with?"
Well, in her defense, she did say, "Yeah, the rest were 8s and 9s."
Yellow card. All right, cluckleheads, we're recording.
All right, well, welcome to episode 60. 60 of Whiskey and Whine with the Rooster and the Madman, where we talk common sense, current events, the Constitution, and morals.
It's me.
She's here.
Did you just skip over my welcome back, cluckheads?
I most certainly did. I was going to wait and see.
It's
how
like
long
the staple of the show, man.
Okay, well, here, let's back up.
No, I've already said it. I don't want to do it again.
I want you to do it again.
All right, welcome back, cluckheads. You're listening to Whiskey and Whine, Rooster and Madman.
You know who we are.
I just like my part. That's it.
I was just going to keep going. I was going to see how long. It's going to see how long it's going to take.
The moment's passed, man. It's passed.
It's okay. Did it leave you a little prickly on the inside?
Yeah. So
Speaking of, we're not going up and down this week. These
no, this is just
the beers. They are actually.
Hold on. Cervezas.
They're actually both $10 for a 6-pack.
Yep.
And I don't know if our American, Lithuanian, Greece honky tonk bar
association.
To be the
Mexican
so
bar honky tonk
do
bar
you have
association.
your
Caballero Association?
Do you have your Hispanic, Latin, Mexican, whatever you want to call it, honky tonk bar association degree? Do you have one of those?
Let's call it the Caballero.
Hablo cerveza.
I don't know what she said, but it sounded great.
It sounded phenomenal. I have no idea what it was, but it's there, whatever it is.
Yeah. So we're doing import beer, obviously.
Yeah, we're doing imports. So these are I just got us 2 basic Mexican lagers. Well, I don't know if they're actually lagers or not, but they are the Corona Familiar
in the amber bottle.
In the amber bottle. And then we have the Modelo Negra. And which one do you want?
I'm going to go with the Modelo Negra. I'm a big Modelo fan.
Okay, so then I'm going to go with the Corona. Now, I've not had this before. So
I can't say I've ever had it. I've had regular Coronas and
I've had regular Coronas, and I've had I've had the Modelos, but this one is 4.9% alcohol, and I do like the fact that it's got a different label on it. It's got a different logo. It has that like Spanish theme logo, like the color scheme. All right, let's crack this thing open. Okay, nothing impressive.
It sounds not exciting.
Sound not exciting at all.
Madman and the fans can't see that there's a silent yellow card going on over here because Rooster almost opened his cerveza too early.
I was just going to wait.
I wanted to open mine.
So let's give it the bite and sniff test here. It smells just like a regular Corona.
It does.
I don't know what's different about it besides
slightly skunked.
Yep.
Wouldn't be Corona if it
smells
didn't have
like bad decisions in college.
Yeah, it wouldn't smell like Corona if it didn't have a slight skunk smell to it.
Smells like Corona as a dark beer.
That is true. But we'll get there. All right, so let's crack open the Modelo.
Well, the Modelo comes in this really cool bottle, and it's wrapped in foil like the old. What were those? What was it? Lowenbrow used to do back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when people thought that was a good beer.
What are the percentages on this?
This is 5.4%.
Okay.
12 ounce. It's in a funky bottle.
The
bottle is just fun.
And it didn't.
It's got this gold leaf wrap to it. So that means it's fancy.
Fancy.
I'm
going to sniff it with my pinky out.
Smells like Smells like an amber beer.
It smells exactly like a normal Modelo, so I don't really know what the differences are, but you know what? We'll get to it.
We'll find out.
So, all right. So let's see what we got her. Let's see what we got here. Up in her. I guess we can go ahead and hop into top. How have you been this week?
Good. A little older. Good.
Waking up with some new aches and pains?
Oh, yeah. They were already there, but yeah,
now they're more pronounced.
It's because of the rain, though. It's not because of the age.
It's not. So for the
miles, not
for all of our listeners on Deep Dallas Radio, we did not record last week. We had a surprise birthday party for the Rooster whenever he thought we were going to be recording. So
yeah.
So officially on air. Happy birthday!
Thank you.
It was actually Monday, wasn't it? 29th?
Yeah, it was Monday.
Yeah. So now that we know your birth date, can I just get your...
I'll get you the Social Security, mother's maiden name.
Mother's maiden name, all that stuff.
We'll get that down for you.
All right, cool. If you want to do it on the air...
I'll save that for the social media page.
That's even better.
Yeah, it's probably the safest place to store it, right?
If you could just take a picture of your credit card front and back and just put it up, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Whiskey and Wine does not condone sharing of private information on social media, websites, or otherwise.
So, and I've hit that age where they won't let you renew your driver's license online, where they actually make you go in and get that done. And the state of Texas is still behind on getting their appointments, so it's going to be expired for quite a while before I actually get my driver's license renewed.
Because you're going the wrong places. Because it's a state license, you don't have to go in the city or county you live in.
Oh, I'm going to the city next, 1 or 2 cities away. Yeah, no, trust me, the one in where I live, their lines around the building every day.
Yeah,
I don't deal with
that.
So I had a coworker that had to renew something at work and couldn't because he didn't have an ID. So he drove out to Terrell and got a same-day appointment. Walked in, got it done, came back.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth that much in my
because then you have to go to
just for me to go to
Terrell. Then you actually have to go to Terrell.
Be a Terrell, and I don't know what I do. But no, it's not that bad. I think they only pushed it out like 3 weeks before they give me an appointment.
Oh well,
yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good
because that is what happens when you allow the government to run its own industry.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of that, let's get into topic one. Which one are we going to... I guess I opened the Corona first. So
you go for it.
Let's get our cluckage, clinkage going on here. We'll get our cluckage, clinkage, and let's take a big sip of this Corona Familiar.
I like it better than regular Corona.
This is better than regular Corona, which that's not saying a whole lot, but...
No, it's not.
I mean,
Corona Familiar is not nearly as popular as its
and we did have tacos for dinner, so it kind of goes.
Yeah, it does go with the tacos.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I got a snack for us tonight too.
Oh God, what did you get?
So it's beef jerky-ish, beefish jerky.
No, stop. Either it's beef jerky or it's not
vegan jerky. It's beyond beef.
I am going to throw.
Well, we got to get used to because the government's going to have us eating crickets and stuff here in the next few years.
Nope, wrong. All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's jump in since we're already talking about the government making money off stuff. Let's hop into the student loan. That was a big topic. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you start it.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and get the timer going and go.
So student loan forgiveness. This was a Biden campaign promise. He was going to eliminate student loans.
And Biden keeps his promises.
He keeps his promises just like he sniffs all those little children.
That didn't happen. That did not happen.
Oh, okay. You say so. Anyways, so he did come through with his campaign promise. So he is going to relieve student debt. He's not going to forgive it like he said he did. So it is a $10,000 student debt forgiveness or another additional $10,000 if you had Pell Grants. And if you had Pell Grants, that means you were below the minimum poverty level that they considered. So now that you can go up to $20,000 in that, as well as when you do repay back student loans. It's based on, I think the current thing is based on 10% of what your net income is, what you're supposed to pay back. Well, he's reduced that now to 5% of what you have to pay back on. And it's great. It keeps his campaign promise. I mean, I know we like to beat him up, but it keeps his campaign promise. It's a low enough amount. It shouldn't really tank the economy or cause any more inflation than we're already seeing. The drawback is obviously people on the right hate it. People on the left hate it. Because the people on the left wanted all of it forgiven. The people on the right think it's going to tank the economy. And they're really just not acknowledging it's such a minimal amount that it's not really going to make much of a blip.
Well, here's one of my main problems with it, period, is I believe it was like 2009, 2010. the Department of Education bought all the student loans.
Yeah.
Well, then they hiked the interest rates up from like 0.5%, like 1.1%, like 0.6%, all the way up to 6, 7, 8, and 10%. So now they're making money because we have to pay interest on the student loans, and they're taxing us at the same time.
Yeah, and so the student loan program itself, you go back to when Obama guaranteed the loans, that made tuition go up astronomically across the country.
And it would go up every semester.
Because everybody was
university.
guaranteed. And the biggest problem where I feel he fell short on this, and I don't have a problem with the 10,000 and the 20,000. I really don't. The problem I have was he should have taken all student loans that are government backed, which are pretty much all of them now, and said there is now a 0% interest rate, or I would be even okay with a 1 to 2% interest rate if it was just enough to recover the government salary, the government employee who is working and processing that. The government should never make money off its citizens.
That's because it's being run like a corporation.
But we're not. It's a government, and for the
is it?
But for the Democrats who wanted the government to be so socialistic,
is it really?
You can't treat it like it's a capitalist market because they're anti-capitalism.
So the other problem that I have with it is that there were a ton of people the government screwed over, and I was one of those. So whenever they bought all the loans, it affected a bunch of us, and I mean, like our credit scores just tanked.
Yeah.
Because they unconsolidated them, and then they were still having us pay, and it was looking like they were still consolidated, but they weren't. So we were only paying on like one loan instead of 3 or 4 or 6 or however many you had.
And then you've got the argument, you got people like my generation who, when I went to college, it was straight out of the military. And so, we had the GI Bills, and we basically just had to fund it ourselves with different loans. And it was tuition was a lot cheaper because it wasn't guaranteed. You actually had to get in and do all these things. And so, you got people of my generation who are upset that, well, no one's paying back my student loans. I get it, but it's a different ball game after they guaranteed the loans than it was before those loans were guaranteed. It's absolutely different rates.
And the other thing that I have that is an issue for me, I don't care with the fact that he's doing the 10 to 20,000 forgiveness. What I have an issue with is that the interest rates are still so high that literally that's only like 3 to 4 months worth of just the interest.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If he should have just eliminated the interest rate, because the government should not be making a profit off of its people. They already tax us.
And in my opinion, if you want to boost the American economy, instead of sending the $60 billion plus $4.6 billion per month over to the Ukraine, eliminate all the student loan debt, because then those people that are making those $300 to $3,000 a month payments can invest that back into their local economy.
Yeah, I can't. I'm against the full one only in the aspect of it's like printing more money. This administration has already printed so much money. They've printed the same amount of money in these 2 years that was printed in all of U.S. history. And that's why we have this inflation economy problem.
Oh, timer just went off.
But I'm for it. I'm for what I mean. I think it's a good call.
I do believe that I want better for the next generation than what I had. So if that means being able to get some of this stuff back on track by taking a hit now, I'm okay with it.
So we barely give him praise. So I'm gonna give him a half a kudos on this one, because
I will give him a 5 sniff on this one.
5 sniff. 5
sniff.
What's the scale?
On a 1 to 5, I will give him a full 5 sniff. Because it's a campaign promise that he's trying to live up to.
Yeah, I don't give him any sniffs because it's creepy.
Oh, I do. And then
I mean, I give him credit for this. This was a good deal. So
I love to give him the sniffs, because then
he shouldn't get beat up.
Then I lean in. I'm like, Mr. President, you smell so much different.
Granted, he'll forget what he did next week, but
that's true.
So, anyways,
how'd you like the Corona?
It's not bad. It's beer.
It's beer.
It's beer.
I mean, it's nothing to write home about.
No, I mean, it's like drinking Budweiser.
Yeah. I will say that
what is the one they had? Not the Select. The
Ice.
No, they had like a little bit darker version there for a little while. I can't remember what it was. Anyways,
from Budweiser.
This is kind of what it reminds me of.
Oh, like the red lager or whatever it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was a short-lived one-off kind of beer, but and again, it wasn't amazing. It was just like, it's not bad. But if I want a dark beer, I'll just get a Shiner Bock.
Actually, we need to still do that Shiner versus that Tupps. because that
Yeah.
Tubbs was really good.
I'd like to try to get to the Aldi too, because Aldi's got their version of the Shiner Bock.
we did that.
Did we do that one?
We
I thought
did that in the first tournament of
No,
fermentation.
that was we did the Holland versus Heineken, because I couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we did the Shiner version.
You're right. So what did you think back there, morals of the Corona?
I can't see morals, but she's all laid back.
She's laid back in a Papasan, just
she got
like
this
chilling.
Papasan thing, got the microphone hanging over her.
Hey, I figured out how this podcast thing's supposed to go. So,
She's gonna be taking a nap here in a minute.
so the Corona is maltier than a Corona Extra. So yes, it's still a lager. It's not it's not like a deep, thick, stout kind of beer. Beers. Cerveza.
Deep.
Cervezas.
Sorry, I was stuck on the. It's a deep, thick.
Deep,
But it's
thick beers.
it's still got that crisp, clean taste of a.
No,
of
it's
a-
good.
of a
It's good
lighter
beer.
beer.
Did you say that this one was actually less popular? Like the least popular of the Coronas?
This is less popular than the Corona Extra.
Everybody knows the Corona Extra. I mean, that's the get your fish taco and a Corona Extra, and
Corona's
be
known for
trendy
being a
that you
summer
drink
beer or a
import
beach
beer.
beer. So
Yeah, and I know a lot of times, like Cinco de Mayo, it's like everybody gets Dos Equis and Corona.
yeah, except for the actual Hispanic people, they drink Budweiser.
And then they're like, this isn't even
Miller Lite.
this isn't even our Independence Day.
They have like 1,000 of them.
Well, yeah.
Anyways,
But I'm going to say
Off
that
topic.
I actually like this one better than the regular Corona.
yeah, of the Corona family, I do like this one the best.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Before we go into topic number 2, let's get our Modelos.
Modelo.
Modelo. Let's get our.
The bottle's fancy.
The bottle's
It
fancy.
sounds fancy. Our buddy Bucky's not enjoying this at all.
Bucky is not enjoying the cervezas. Let's take a sip of this. Oh,
that's nice.
Yeah.
that actually tastes really different.
Yeah.
I think I like that. So, all
They're
right.
basically, I mean, it comes across almost like two different categories of beer.
Yeah, and they're literally they were just side by side. Like, well, not side by side, but the Coronas were on one shelf.
Yeah, when I drink
the
Modelo, I usually drink the Modelo Especial.
Is that the one with
Because
the
it's
white
fun to
label?
say. Yeah.
You just
It's
like
the
to say
clear bottle.
Especial, don't you?
Yeah, it goes great with enchiladas.
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 And I like to get
Chicken
some,
fajitas.
I like to get some fajitas.
Let me get
and
some chicken
and free
fajitas.
joels. Some
You guys
free
are just
joels.
wrong.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let's hop into topic number 2 here.
Number
Oh,
2.
you know what? I'm going to start this one.
Number 2.
Topic number 2.
Number 2.
Sad day for the world, unless you happen to be in Russia. Mikhail Gorbachev passed away, and it's people don't really give him some of the talk that and the credit that we should be giving him, because he essentially did end the Cold War.
He ended it.
And he was solely responsible for the dismantling of the Soviet Union.
He gave the order.
He gave the order. I mean,
He was the final Soviet premier, right?
he was the final Soviet premier and the final Soviet chairman, and he was the first person to completely abandon the Brezhnev doctrines, Gesundheit. Sorry about that. But the doctrines. But there was the famous speech, with Ronald Reagan looking directly in the cameras. Mr. Gorbachev, tear that wall down. And it's funny because I remember that to this day, like looking on Channel 11 KTVT and actually seeing the Berlin Wall come down.
Yeah, I often wondered though what would have, because he did end the Cold War by basically throwing in the towel and changing Russia from a communist to
It was supposed to be capitalist.
but
it's
something
never,
different now.
It's something different.
Then Boris Yeltsin comes in. He's the next first freely elected.
And Yeltsin, his problem was that he wanted it to turn completely capitalistic overnight, and Gorbachev had like this 12-year plan.
And I kind of sided with Gorbachev on that plan, just for the simple fact is you can't take an entire nation's industry that's government owned and turn it into capitalistic overnight. I mean, you've got to transition these truck and tank manufacturers into private industries, your gas industry.
Because it's literally going from the government owning everything to the government owning
Correct.
No private.
So he
entities.
didn't get the credit I think he should. The really saddest part is that Putin has basically turned his back to Gorbachev and his legacy, and he's been denied a state funeral.
So he's been denied a state funeral.
And Putin will not attend the funeral.
Putin will not attend. And it's almost like he's upset because whenever the Soviet Union fell, he was like head of the KGB.
He was never the head. That is
He was-
never.
I'm sorry,
I
he was
looked
one-
it up.
he was one of the highest
We all
ranking
suspected
officials.
he was the head, but the KGB was so secretive. We just know he was a high-ranking official.
Yeah, he was a high-ranking
because
official
he went from
KGB.
KGB under Gorbachev and Yeltsin when they turned it into whatever the whatever they were, and then he went straight to being a mayor during the fall, and then straight to prime minister, and now
Yeah. He fast-tracked it.
he's president forever, basically.
Yeah. No, only 4 years.
No, it's they keep changing their
not the way-
constitution to keep that
that's not the way it
going.
works.
Because he just stepped down and went back to being the prime minister for a little while, and while he had the other guy that worked for him be president,
Yeah.
and then that ended pretty quickly. And he went back to they changed the constitution. But anyways, off topic from Gorbachev. Gorbachev absolutely would not been for any of the stuff that's going on in Russia today.
Absolutely not. But I do think that it's pretty sad because, well, even I guess it was back whenever that they first started like the invasion of the Ukraine, because I know that it was after they invaded Crimea that Putin said something like the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century was the dismantling of the Soviet
Well, yeah,
Union.
he's been saying that since he was president of Russia. He's in the Russian
Yeah.
Federation. He's been saying that,
And I mean,
and he truly believes it because he's trying to rebuild the old Soviet Union.
yeah, he's trying to rebuild the USSR. Actually, no, he's not. He's trying to rebuild the Russian Empire because he said that he wanted all former Russian lands to come back to Russia, and that included like some little dinky fort in California that.
Ukraine was not part of Russia.
And the Ukraine was not part of Russia.
Ukraine was not Russia.
but
Poland was not Russia.
But that was also including Alaska. Like he wanted us. He wants to restore the Russian Empire.
He's giving his own history to ethnic Russians and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Which we saw that play out in World War II with people who made up their own history and where their lands were and how that all.
That's
worked
never
out.
happened in history before.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of
silly Rooster.
Yeah. Again, it's sad that this guy
going clucking insane over there.
Can't get a state funeral. I mean, it's
and I mean the thing is that he was respected all the way across the globe.
Historically, in the Soviet Union and the Russian Federation, he is probably one of the most standout officials.
Oh yeah,
Made the
absolutely.
biggest changes.
He made some of the biggest
impact.
changes for the entire world.
Biggest impact. Yeah, he did. He impacted the entire world.
Yeah. And timer just went off. Okay. Well, rest easy, Mr. Gorbachev, and thank you for what you've done, and to his surviving family members that hopefully are not going to be retaliated against now that he's
the only other person that's really unnamed in Soviet Russian history that's more notable is the guy who came up with this is first base.
This is first base in Gulag.
I can't even with you two.
God is first base.
I actually met that guy once.
He's hanging out with Moose and Squirrel.
Hanging out with Moose and Squirrel. All right. So what do you think of this Modelo?
I like it.
I actually really like it.
I like it. It's very different than the Corona.
Yeah, it really is.
They're really not in the same category.
They're not.
Other than they're just both Mexican beers in an amber bottle.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising because like literally they were stacked above each other.
Yeah,
all the way across, just like they would.
But I mean, we're good. So I mean, you can't go wrong kind of either way in this situation.
No, I just think I like the Modelo better.
Yeah.
But you know what? We'll do the go backs here in a second. Hey.
We probably need to do the go back before we get into the next one.
Yeah, I just realized what time it was. So we need to do our first go back now.
Yeah.
So let's go back from the Modelo to the Corona.
Modelo.
I just really like that one. I really like that one. That's an interesting go back.
Honestly, with still having the taste of Modelo, you can't even
taste the
Corona.
It layers
It's like taking
weird.
a sip of water.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That layer is really weird. All right. Well, you know what? You know what time it is?
It's time for the
big
FUs.
FUs. It doesn't really sound
Some people like
You know what?
it.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Fake news.
All right, timer started. I'll tell you what, you can go first.
So, first busload. We've talked about this before. The border crisis situation coming
with
to Texas.
illegal immigration.
Yeah. So the first busload, not the first busload is left. We all know Abbott has been sending busloads of undocumented
Citizens
folks to other cities in the country, and it's not they're forced into. These people can volunteer for which city they want to go to, and he first busload hits Chicago. Chicago's always noticed itself as a sanctuary city. It's everybody's
You know what's
welcome.
weird about that is that Washington, D.C., the mayor came forward and said that they're a sanctuary city. Yeah. And then the mayor of New York came forward and said they're a sanctuary city. And then now Chicago came, Lightfoot said that, this is a sanctuary city.
Yeah.
But if I remember right, what she said.
Now, she did say that, and I'm going to, paraphrase her here. So she did say that everyone is welcome in Chicago. Immigrants are absolutely welcome, but this was absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah, it's a little bit different whenever they're.
But I've said it for years, well before we called it a border crisis. Years, it doesn't matter. I mean, even several presidents ago, the country will never understand the illegal immigration issue until the illegal immigration issue is sitting in the Northeast. New England, New York, Chicago, and all of the major cities in the Midwest and the up north. So until the rest of the country actually feels the illegal immigration situation, they're not going to react. They just think we're all a bunch of mean rednecks down here.
Yeah.
Who
and the other thing too is that they're one of the news networks. They found the clip with the mayor of D.C. saying that this is a sanctuary city, all are welcome here. And then like 2 weeks ago, that she was saying that once again, I'm going to kind of paraphrase it, but like, this is unacceptable. We keep getting illegal immigrants by bus daily. Our violent crimes have gone up exponentially. The drug crimes have gone up exponentially.
Well,
the assault crimes have gone up exponentially. And it's just kind of like, but wait a second.
But everything comes down to money. Let's just be honest about it. Everything comes down to money. The reason they hate it and the reason Abbott is getting the last laugh on this one is Morals did the homework on this one for us, so I appreciate that, Morals, is it costs us roughly $13 million to process these undocumented immigrants and then send them to other cities.
Yeah.
If we keep them in the state of Texas, that price tag becomes, I believe, $850 million.
For just the state of Texas.
Just for us, for a year.
Yeah.
Sending them somewhere else, we're only in it for about $13 million. So we're saving all kinds of taxpayer money in the state of Texas.
Literally hand over fist.
Yeah. By sending them to other states. And then the other states are starting to realize that this whole pro-illegal immigration thing comes with a hefty price tag.
I would like to correct you, sir. This is a politically correct show. I want you to say open borders.
No, we don't have open borders.
That's why we need
Canadians don't let me walk across into their country.
Well, and so speaking of,
don't you know?
With all this going on, you would expect, where in the world is Kamala Harris? You would expect her to be right at the border or greeting these people as they're coming off the bus in Chicago or New York or D.C.
Well, you'd think, but unfortunately, she needs to do some midterm election campaigning.
Oh.
So she's in North Carolina, which, again,
that's a border.
It does border the Atlantic Ocean. So,
good stuff
there. Could be caravan flotillas coming into North Carolina. I'm not real sure.
Not really sure
but she's in Raleigh, Durham. She's doing her campaign speech talking about the Inflation Reduction Act. That's the one where the title says
which is not a reduction.
But even the government says it's going to raise taxes and inflation and everything else. But the White House said, well, those experts could be wrong.
They could be.
Yeah, that's their excuse. They could be wrong.
Yeah.
Not proof of this is why, but yeah. Anyways, so she's in there talking about that, and of course she has to stump and campaign on another topic, which is like healthcare. So 9% of all elderly people live below poverty.
Yep.
9%. So they're going to help them. To me, the easiest way you could help them is don't tax them.
No, that's
don't tax
completely
them.
unheard
no
of.
Property taxes, no income taxes. You're old.
That's not the way that works, man.
But it could be the way.
Could it?
It really could be.
I don't think that it could be.
And the healthcare thing, to brag about insulin, is just ironic because it was
okay. Now that did kind of light me up because I was like,
well, they broke the system.
I was like, and even though I'm not a huge Trump fan, he literally signed that bill in capping like insulin.
Well, it was an executive action, but he did put an executive mandate out there, and he actually got insulin prices to where anybody in this country could buy insulin. It was the lowest price it's ever been in this country, and it was also one of the very first mandates on day one
that Biden
the Biden administration
out.
threw out, and absolutely skyrocketed things like insulin. And now they're going to fix it for us.
And now he's the healthcare savior.
Well,
whenever
you could have not broke it,
yeah,
and then it wouldn't need fixing. That'd be like me coming over to your house and say, "Hey man, is that your favorite coffee mug?" Boom, throw it right there on the floor, bunch of little pieces. But don't worry, once you sweep it up and put it back on this counter, I got some super glue,
and I'm just going to glue it back together.
And I'm only going to charge you so much money for someone to fix it.
Yeah, speaking of some broken stuff, and I know this isn't a big FU. But many people across the state of Texas has gone to see the Battleship Texas before at some point in their life, whether it was like a field trip or something like that. Yeah. And they're actually fixing the hull on it. They took it to Galveston and it went into dry dock today. And I mean, so many people don't realize the importance of Battleship Texas. So it was a New York class battleship that was commissioned in 1912. It actually saw service in World War I, and then it saw service again in World War II. But one of the coolest things about Battleship Texas in World War II is that whenever it was assisting in the D-Day invasion, the Allied forces had pushed the Germans back so far that the long guns couldn't hit the Germans. So the admiral of the ship had them flood the torpedo bays and actually tilt the ship over so that they could get more angle on their guns.
Better ballistic is going to lob it in there.
To keep hitting the fleeing Germans. Yeah. I mean, that's just a ballsy move. That's just a clucking ballsy move.
Yeah, I hear when they're done with it, they're going to move it to Houston.
Yeah, whenever they're done with it, they're going to move it to Houston. But, so many people don't realize that it was actually, many people have seen the statue or the film, whatever, that they're raising the flag raising on Suribachi at Iwo Jima.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that one of the battleships that was laying down that fire to take Iwo Jima, one of those was the Battleship Texas. It was the first battleship to ever launch a plane off of. So, I mean,
did not know that.
It was one of the first battleships with actual rangefinders. It was one of the first that actually had radar on it.
I know it was the longest serving battleship.
It was the longest serving battleship. It's the only battleship.
The one that served in both the Great War.
It's the only surviving one that served in both world wars, and it's one of 8 that is still floating for all practical purposes from World War II. And it was the first one that became a historical landmark and became a museum. So for those of us that, that went there on a field trip, or that, we saw it whenever we were, on a family vacation or something, that's pretty cool that that the Historical Preservation Society is actually, I think that they're raising like $35 million.
Yeah, I mean,
to completely.
I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'll be first one down in Houston, one of the first ones down in Houston once they get that museum reopened.
I kind of wish that they would just take it back to San Jacinto.
Yeah,
but
there's some federal government shenanigans I think that go along with that. Let's put it near NASA and other federal programs instead of giving these Texas boys their bragging rights of San Jacinto.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's politics.
It's probably politics. It boils down to money for tourism and stuff like that. But I'm really glad that instead of taking it and sinking it for like an artificial coral reef or something like that, which a lot of those older decommissioned ships that have done.
Well, back in the day, they used to roll those bad boys that were left from World War I and II and put them out there on the nuclear test ranges out there in the Pacific Islands and see what happens to them.
At Atoll?
Yeah.
Bikini Atoll?
Yeah, see what happens.
They melted.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah. They didn't survive.
They didn't survive.
It survived.
But, especially considering that, that the Battleship Texas went into service in 1912 and then it was retired in 1948. I mean, that serving in 2 world wars.
It's great.
I mean, it was one of the first of many things that happened as far as like naval warfare and things like that. It was the first that did a lot of, and I want to say that it actually retired with 5 5-star battle ratings. I mean, so I'm looking forward to it. I know it, like I said, off topic. I know it's not a big FU, but
well, there's a Ray Wiley Hubbard song in there somewhere.
Yeah. Pretty sure we've covered that one before.
Texas.
We're from Texas. So cluck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So, all right. Well, tell you what.
We do the other go back, right?
Timer just went off.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
We
Getting ahead.
We actually finished it just a second early. So
Getting ahead. So
all right. So I'll tell you what.
finished
let's
early. Just like never mind.
Nope.
Yellow card.
We're not going there. I mean, obviously we're not going there.
Yeah, we're not going there.
But I mean, I'm sure the Overlord hears that a lot.
Yeah.
Red card.
How is that one a red card?
Oh.
Because of where it's going if I don't stop it.
But what if
now.
he apologizes?
But if the lights are off, it can go anywhere.
That's precisely why I called it a red card.
Red card.
Does he even
Stop.
have- I was going to ask a legitimate question. Does he have lights in the dungeon?
I don't know. I don't go in there.
I'm sure that he put some Christmas lights strung up around the John Kerry
on this show. Then I'm going to end up in there.
I can just see the John Kerry cut out with like the Christmas lights around.
Yeah, man, I bet they're pretty.
All right, so the go back between the Corona and the Modelo.
Corona. It's good beer.
I think I like that one better than regular Corona.
I do. It's really odd going from Corona to the Modelo too, because it really mellows out the. I don't know.
It brings out the fruity flavor in the Negro.
Yeah.
I'm kind of at a toss up here.
Yeah. Well,
I'm doing another go back.
you go ahead. Honestly, and I'll start on this one. If I had to make a recommendation over these two, if you like dark beers, you're going to love the Modelo. If you just want an amber beer that's just
Darker than most ambers.
then the Corona is going to suit you well. But if you like that taste of a dark beer, that very full-bodied, then you're going to like the Modelo.
Who'd you choose?
Based on the fact that we're doing the darker beers, I'm going to go with the Modelo.
Modelo. Morals, what you got?
Same.
I know that it's got to be a tough show for you sitting back there in the Papasan.
I'm all chillaxed back here. Same ruling because of the intent of this comparison. I'm going with the Negra.
Yeah.
So I know what the intent of this comparison is. I just like the way the Modelo tastes better to me. So I'm
yeah, I mean, that's what I was going with. I
Modelo.
mean, it's a darker beer. It tastes like a darker beer. I mean, I actually like, so if you're looking at dark beers, I actually prefer Modelo over, say, Guinness.
Who hurt you and why?
I'm just saying.
There's the door,
me.
Rooster.
I'm just saying I do. It's one of those things. I'm not Irish.
You're not Hispanic either.
That is true.
Not until the 5th of May.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. I just think it's a little bit more mellow than Guinness is.
Well,
Fair statement.
oh, so you're saying that the Guinness just.
But I also like the Shiner Black more than I liked.
I like the Shiner Black better too, though.
Yeah. So, and to me, this is more along the Shiner levels. But again, the
Did
Corona
either
leaves
one
me,
of them?
Corona leaves me like if Budweiser was making an attempt at something like this would be what Budweiser pulled off.
I will say this: neither one of them left me prickly on the inside.
That's true. They're both good beers. They're both good.
But I like the Modelo better.
Yeah, it's just
that's
the
just
Modelo.
me.
The Corona tastes very generic.
Yeah, it really does taste really generic. That's just a good way to. It just tastes.
Yeah.
It's like whenever we did one of the most unfun comparisons ever. Whenever it was like I think it was like the Budweiser versus Bud Light or whatever it was. No, it was Bud Light versus Miller Light.
Was it Miller Light or was it the Yingling Light?
No, that was that.
No, that was the Budweiser versus the Yingling. Yeah,
that was the.
So I mean, and I'm not an anti-Budweiser guy. It's
just
always
one of those
an easy beer to go to.
It's the go-to for a ballpark Frank, some peanuts.
But you're never going to brag about having Budweiser.
Like, man, I had this awesome Bud Light. The other night.
Never going to come out of your mouth and go, man,
Ever.
we drink Budweiser. It was great. No, it's never been said. It's like, man, I went to Denny's and it was freaking phenomenal.
Never gonna happen.
Never
Not
gonna
going to
happen.
happen. But what you can say is, man, I was at Waffle House. I was still hungry. They gave me waffles.
The easiest gauge of quality of beer is if the name of the beer is stated when you're out drinking it. So if you say, hey, I'm hanging out with my buds having some beer, then it's generic beer.
Yeah.
If you say, you know what, I'm going to go have a Guinness with my buds,
Yeah.
it's because it's Guinness.
It's like, hey, I got some barrel oak stouts. You want to come over and have one? Yeah. Versus, you want a beer?
Yeah.
What is it? It's beer. It's in a white can and it has the word beer on it.
Oh crap, man! Oh, before we do anything else, I gotta talk about this. We mentioned earlier I bought the Beyond Meat jerky, the plant-based, slow roasted and kettle cooked teriyaki flavored, no GMOs, no soy, and no gluten. Yeah. Bucky's crying.
There is nothing about me that wants to eat that.
Oh no, we gotta try it. Then we
don't.
I was gonna get the plain, but I realized it's probably gonna suck, so I figured I might as well get the teriyaki flavor, so we can at least like, well, it tastes like crap with teriyaki on it. Oh, I see why Bucky likes it. It smells like dog food. Oh, Morals, give you the first bite here.
That is smelling up the entire studio.
Dude, it stinks.
It smells like dog treats.
Madman, come on.
No, man, I'm good.
No, come on. You got to try it. Everybody's got to try
Dude,
it.
that smells up the
It's a turd
entire
sandwich. Everybody get a
room.
bite.
This literally is smelling up the entire room. This is the still reserve of beef jerky.
See, Chris has left the studio.
It looks like a dog treat. This doesn't even look like beef jerky.
Who's brave enough to do it first?
All right.
It looks like really sad, the most generic beef jerky if there was something made that you could get in an old truck stop somewhere.
All right. So we're
There you
doing
go.
this?
Yeah.
3,
2, 1.
That's good. Okay, I'm actually going to take a bite of it now. I was going to wait to see if y'all threw it up first.
It's chewy.
It's teriyaki. It's not jerky. It's not beef. It's
You know what it is? It's crap. You know what, Bucky? If Moral says you can, you may have this whole bag.
I just spit mine out. I couldn't do it.
I'm gonna excuse myself for a second.
I have actually had dog food that tasted better than that.
This is bad.
it's
This is just
pretty-
awful.
You know, it's not
bad.
the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth.
Hey, but $20 is $20.
Yellow card.
But it's pretty close.
Oh, I can't get the taste out.
It smells. What does that smell?
I don't know, but it's on my fingers now, and
It's like a cross between old food and the potpourri section at Michael's.
in shame.
It's
Let's pronounce Shane.
yellow card.
It's
This is it's on my hand.
It's not good, but man, it is driving Bucky nuts. Uh-oh.
Sorry for the little technical snafu there.
Yeah, this is
I think that we were all dying from this stupid jerky.
this is not good.
Where did you find this?
Walmart. There's just on one little aisle end cap things there where they
I can
bags
see
of jerky and
the need and the desire for people that are vegetarian that want something like
eat banana
jerky.
chips. This is horrible.
But this is not the answer. This
Okay,
is not
so
it.
here's my thing. If you're going to sit there and be a vegetarian or vegan, then why do
Oh,
you
it
want
burped
stuff
weird,
that
too.
tastes like meat? Why do you want to try to make something plant taste like a meat and then just suck at that too?
Yeah, this is not good.
That is awful.
And I've tried like the Impossible Whopper at Burger King and just
Why?
you know, for
Why would you do that?
just shits and giggles, see if it's any good. Same thing as I tried the plant-based one at McDonald's. Just but I'm that weird dude that if you're like, hey man, this burger's made out of rattlesnake and lion and extinct Komodo dragon. You want one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try.
I've always wanted to have a Komodo dragon.
I'll give it a try. I'm just one of those guys. I'm like, yeah, I'll try weird food. And
I don't have a problem trying weird food. I don't want to try that ever again.
dude, this is worse than a Diet Coke aftertaste.
Agreed.
It's worse than a Diet Pepsi aftertaste.
Diet Right.
Diet Right.
Burn.
Oh, this is.
I
I think I'd rather drink Steel Reserve.
I can't get this taste out of my mouth. It reminds me of
And
one of
the
those
bag
times
doesn't
I was
seal.
over at the Overlord's
So here's
house.
another thing for Beyond Meat: your zipper bag does not reseal.
Because it's not worth saving for later.
No, I don't think so. You know, it actually has an expiration date on it too. It's weird because it's not made with real food.
So wait a minute, it's not made with real food?
I don't know. It's
I just thought it was like made with vegetables that they made.
It's got water, mung bean protein, brown sugar, natural flavors. I guess dirt and crap is a flavor.
I can't even with you guys.
And a whole bunch of other garbage.
So Whiskey and Wine does not recommend
No,
Beyond Meat
as a general
jerky
rule, the
products.
Rooster does not talk bad about other people's products. This is a swing and a miss. guys.
This is an exception to that rule.
This is bad.
I, however, as the Madman, I couldn't give two clucks
So-
if I speak bad about somebody's product.
This
The
is
next
going
time
in John Kerry's care package along with the Steel Reserve. God, man, this is bad.
You know what we should do?
You know, if Biden wins re-election, I'm going to send him a case of this.
You know what we should do? Get an entire week supply of that with a week supply of Steel Reserve and send them to the Overlord.
Dude, I got an aftertaste like bug spray in my mouth or
Nobody
something.
deserves that. No, nobody deserves that.
Oh, it's not good.
I can't even describe what that taste is.
And I paid $5.29 for a 3-ounce bag.
Yeah, you were robbed.
Yeah.
Dude, I can go out in the yard and pick up crap for free.
That will contribute to this collection.
I actually just took a piece of bite off of a tree earlier, and it tasted better than
Dude,
that.
this is bad, man. Yeah, not good. It's even got the little emblem is a cow with a cape on it.
Super Cow.
Super cow. Is the one that flew away from the slaughterhouse and they had to come up with something
I was about
else.
to say, this is the one that got away.
I know this is a show about drinking and politics, but I just wanted to throw something a little different in here. Get our taste buds going. And
You did a horrible job.
this is a horrible job.
Somebody's
I mean,
jerkying you around.
Oh, yeah. I really jerkied you around.
This isn't the
Gordon Moss
dungeon.
joke there.
This isn't the dungeon. I thought that only happened in the dungeon.
I can't get rid of the aftertaste.
I can't either. I put a dip in. I've drank some of the
this is
Corona.
bad.
I drank some of the Modelo. I can't get the taste out of my mouth, and I can still smell it on my hands.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad.
It's bad.
Time for some Irish Spring.
Oh, gosh. Not Irish Spring. We use giftedchicken.com's soap.
Do you use giftedchicken.com
I
soap?
do every day.
Home of all your beard, bath, and body needs?
And veteran owned and operated.
Right here in North Texas?
Right here in North Texas.
Man.
Yeah.
Scents for everyone. And if you don't like scented soap, guess what? They've got no damn scent.
Yeah, we got a soap called No Damn Scent. Ain't got
Not
no damn,
you, but Gifted Chicken.
Yeah, it's got a soap, no damn scent to it. Ain't got no damn tester either.
All right, Cluckheads. You've been listening to Whiskey and Wine with the Rooster and the Madman and the Morals. And remember, in a world full of chickens,
Be a rooster.
you're listening to Whiskey and Wine. Thanks for tuning in to Whiskey and Wine with the Rooster and the Madman, where you can catch brand new episodes every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Deep Dallas Radio on Locked and Loaded with DJ Shane Guns.
Special thanks to our sponsor, giftedchicken.com, home to all your beard, bath, and body care needs. Veteran owner operator right here in North Texas. Remember to pick up a bottle of Overlord's Dungeon Oil. It's 100% all natural coconut oil.
Leaves you prickly on the insides.